Hey, how are you doing? Um, this is a reply or a rebuttal video to a video that John Kohler uploaded with okraw, and he did a little survey at the Woodstock Fruit Festival of high fat versus low fat thinking. So if you want to see that video, you can link it right here, and you can go ahead and click it now because I got it set up so that it pops up in another window. But just to give you a little background on me, because this one might pull in a few more people, I'm 51 years old, or 50 and a half. I'm closer to 51 than 50. I've been a raw food and a vegan since I was 22. Became a raw food and vegan at the same time. I became a vegetarian at 13, and previous to that, I was always interested in vegetables my whole life previous, even though I came from a family that does a standard American diet and still does. So I'm pretty solitary all my whole life. Had a brief period of being paleo when I was sort of heroically worshipping Truth Calkins. Ate meat, never felt good with it. Made the triumphant return back to veganism this year, actually. And I will be committed to that for the rest of my life. I will say there's good. I do wish I'd stayed vegan the whole time and kind of gotten this thinking straight, but where I'm coming from in this video is an important aspect because I learned a lot of stuff about what I think it takes to be a successful vegan. So John Kohler is John Kohler is an interesting guy. I watch almost all these people. I spend a lot of time in this studio here. He says he's been 17 years a raw foodist. That's great, thumbs up. But I do have to say that 17 years, the importance of that is the time frame that it straddles in terms of your age. So he doesn't look to me like really he's hit 40 yet. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But I'm just saying, if somebody says I've been a raw foodist for 17 years and they became a raw foodist at 20 and they're now 37, doesn't hold so much weight as it does as somebody, and I'm not trying to say I'm right about anything. I'm not a teacher. This is my blog. I don't want to be a teacher. I think I've had a unique life. I've always been obsessed with health. And so I'm just saying that maybe consider my point of view. And I live that fruitarian lifestyle. I basically, early on, I followed the work of mostly Survival in the 21st Century by Viktoras Kulvinskas, which kind of heavily advocated fruitarianism. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't back fruitarianism now, although he still does have that book available. I was a fruitarian basically from 15 to roughly 35 for 10 years. And I think the biggest first thing that I started noticing was that in my late 30s, my dick wasn't getting as hard as it did before. So when I got getting into coconuts was the first thing where that all shifted around. And I'm just saying, the only reason a person ought to be high fat, I do it, and I feel better doing it, and that's really all I have to say. Now I want to go back to what some of the people said in this video. I think I can sum it up with what Freely says, and again, I like Durian Rider and Freely. I watch a lot of these people, and there's a big thing that I love about this fruitarian community and the Woodstock Fruit Festival is a lot of them seem really happy, and I'm just in a place where I'm kind of more interested in being around vegans. And you know, vegan is the top shelf thing for me no matter what, because I'm just all about sustainability, being kind to the animals, being non-violent, and that's a whole list of stuff. But I think I can sum up what I'm saying with kind of what Freely said. She said, try high fat for 30 days and try low fat for 30 days. Well, that's exactly my point. Is what I'm talking about, carrot juice. What I'm talking about is a longer term than that. 30 days. I'll tell you, 30 days of that and 30 days of this. I've been doing a detox now for 90 days of getting into some deep stuff in my liver. 30 days of this and 30 days of that, that's not any time. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, that's not any time at all. You know, I get that's enough time to make a big change if you're on a standard American diet, but that doesn't, I'm just telling you in the long term, where I wound up after 10 years, and I don't worry about how much fat. I pour on the fat, I put huge scoops of coconut butter in, I watch my nuts, I do them a little bit, and seeds I do a lot, nuts I do, they're just, they have their thing, they have their place. I think a lot of beginning raw fooders, because they're trying to do the gourmet thing's a joke. So, I want to bring up something that Christina said. Again, it's this short period of time, and she can't be a day over 29. So, she said in the beginning I did the gourmet thing, and I didn't poo but once or twice a week. And then I went to the fruitarian thing, or the fruit-based thing, or the low-fat thing, or whatever you're calling it. To me, it's essentially sort of a fruitarian type thinking, more focused on fruit. And I went 3 or 4 times a day. Well, exactly. That's because a lot of people coming out of the standard American diet, they're not, they haven't got good colon health. You know, so I do, even though I'm not fruitarian because I do body ecology diet. I'm somebody that's like trying to beat HIV naturally, and I'm somebody that's a longevity enthusiast, and there's a lot of reasons that I won't get into now, because I just want to say I'm somebody that does high fat, and I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a digestive problem with it. I've always been into colon health and health management. I probably had done in the neighborhood of 50 to 70 colonics before I was 26. So I've never had any of the problems, not to mention my whole life. I've never had a time in my life. So probably going in, if you're coming out of the standard American diet, going into and getting heavily into fruits. The other thing is with this whole fruitarian 80-10-10 crowd, they all tend to be like athletes, and they all tend to kind of be 30-somethings. Now, I did see a few people in there that were 60 years of age, and in my observance, Dr. Doug Graham, some of the other people, when I hit that age, I'm hoping for better. So, I don't know, I think Dr. Doug Graham is maybe 58, 59, 60, I don't know. The athletic thing. Athleticism and what athletes do is not a measure of health. That's, in fact, the focus on athleticism is really not that. I mean, I'm an artist. This is what I do with my time. I work on music. I work on what you're hearing right now. I'm a painter. I'm a writer. I'm a poet. That is more the important thing that human beings do. Now, first off, athletes don't really have long, professional athletes anyways, they tend to be like kind of shut down at about 40. There's a few exceptions. A lot of them don't even live long lives. You know, the thing to take into mind is, who remembers anything about athleticism? Who won this? Who won that? You can surely remember great literary works, great philosophers. I mean, these things stretch back hundreds of years. I personally don't get the focus on athleticism. I think it's important to be active, to hike, to ride your bike, to do yoga. I'm more interested in a spiritual life, so I like this crowd of people. They're happy, but I'm just saying the fruitarian thing is not a lifestyle choice. And there's hardly one of those people is that are advocates of that are over 40. Most of these people are on what's called a hygiene diet, and most of that is against things like garlic, ginger, spices, herbs, and all of this stuff. Most of these things, nuts, a lot of these things are very high in vitamins and minerals, especially spices. So that's just my 2 cents. I'm not trying to start a war with anybody. I'm just putting my 2 cents in of saying that's what I do. I don't worry about fat ever. I pour it on all the time, and my health has been better. And I like Gabriel Cousins, but I'm not a. My thinking is that I'm gathering information from a lot of people, and I think there's a whole new world that needs to be pioneered in being a vegan. So, anyways, this is Keith. Bright blessings. Support me by supporting my music. Links in the drop-down box to buy CDs from me. Comment, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Every time you don't subscribe to my channel, a raw foodist goes mediocre. The whole raw food world just slips into this world of mediocrity, which is no good. Raw foodism is a sort of hippie subculture thing, and I'm here to be the leader of that. Don't be uptight. I think a good place of realizing how uptight some of these people are is when John Kohler does the reviews of raw food restaurants. He goes in and checks out bathrooms to see how clean he is. And I'll tell you right now, this is a big difference between me and him. In my preferred bathroom in a raw food restaurant, in a place that I'd want to eat and feel comfortable, in that bathroom they would encourage people to tag and draw on the walls. I've been to places in San Francisco and Los Angeles that do that, and that's really the difference between me and a lot of raw foodists. Is I'm here to support the subculture, alternative world that raw foodism came from. I'll catch you later.